work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want a ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
What is going on, Lions Nation Unite? And we are here to talk some Detroit Lions on this Tuesday at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're getting closer to training camp, thank God, because it's starting to get a little bit boring. I'm not going to lie. It gets a little bit difficult around this time, but we got P. Blues, Paul Gardner, Arthur Wilson, Chrome, Alan Dana, Paul Gardner, Devin Davis, all in the building. I appreciate you guys jumping in. If you got any questions, just throw in the comment section. We'll do Q&A today. I sent out the link to other individuals. We'll see if anyone pops up. But right now, it's just us. So go ahead, and if you got questions, do hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU, hashtag with the word hashtag. I don't care. It is what it is. We got Big Arms, Justin Chase in the building. What is going on, man? Appreciate you getting in here. Talk some Detroit Lions. Have a good time. It is freaking rainy here in West Michigan. In Holland, all nice and rainy. Got a lot of paint done today, a lot of painting. But that's really about it. That is really about it. We got That's Right, Twin. Go Lions. Are we trying to what? Don't really know. We're definitely trying to paint. If you're talking about painting, most definitely. Let's see. What do you think about James Houston? He is a legit killer player for the Detroit Lions. I think he'll have a really good season. The question will be, how good of a season, and can the Lions afford to sign him? Because remember, he was let go last year, so this is his last contract right now with the Detroit Lions. So if he has a really big year, he's going to want to get paid really big, and I think he's going to have a killer year. How is Panay's route tree developing? Panay's route tree is absolutely amazing. He's got the coming out of the flats. That's really about it right now. His one catch route tree that he's got going on. But yeah, maybe he'll get a touchdown in the end zone this year. Hashtag FGB. Are we really trying to get Chase Young? I think Chase Young is for sure on the trade market. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. Just depending on what the compensation is, I think for any team. We don't know. We don't really know what the compensation is. I've seen people say third-round pick. I've seen people say first-round pick. So this one's all over the field regarding comp for Chase Young. What would the Commanders willing to, accept in a trade? And I read an article yesterday, third-round pick and Julian Aquara. I think that is a fair compensation trade if the Lions were to do it. I actually like that because he has been injured the last 2 years. He didn't play that much at all last year. It's a handful of games. So if you're trading for this player, you're trading for a guy on his last year of his contract who's been injured, and that's a lot of risk. But we'll see. We'll see for sure. It just depends on what they want. No one really knows that. Hashtag Mike, what date do the pads go on for practice? I don't know necessarily when it goes on for training camp, how they have that configured. Really don't know until they explain it. Last year is really quick. They wanted full-on contact right off rip. Maybe different this year. It's really up to Dan Campbell, how he wants to do that. They get a certain amount of practices where they can wear pads and full-on go at it. So it just depends how they configure it. Chase will not be in Detroit. You're probably right. How did Houston get left off the recent 53-man roster speculation? How did it happen last time? Well, he was a late round rookie, and that's really about it. And he came on strong when they re-signed him. So I don't know exactly what happened at training camp last year that occurred, but I'm going to assume he wasn't living up to expectations, and then he turned it on a gear. Justin Chase, hashtag FGB. Personally, I prefer Danielle Hunter over Chase Young, but I don't know about giving up a trade capital with how badass Holmes is. Who would you bring in if it was up to you out of any free agent? First, Danielle Hunter, don't you have to trade for him? He's still on the roster. I believe so. I believe so. So I'm not. Yeah, we have traded for within the NFC North. Obviously, when it comes to TJ Hutchinson to the Minnesota Vikings as well. Would the Vikings willing to trade a player here? Probably not. And free agency, I talked about Ndamukong Suh. Maybe later on, if they're wanting to get a free agent player, I like what he did over there for Philadelphia Eagles, but he's not going to do it anytime soon. He'll probably wait till the end of the season like he did last year, but that would be someone I would like to get to bring in here and have on this football team. I want to know about Tracy Walker's doing. Is he 100%? Is he full participant? If not, what's his timetable? It looks like he's a full participant now. He's 100% when training camp hits. So yeah, he's good to go. You're happy to hear that. I mean, he was half in it during minicamp, but he said he's good to go full on during training camp. Smash your hole. Is Chase Lucas still injured? I haven't heard anything on Chase Lucas. That's an interesting question. I don't know. I haven't heard a single thing on him. I don't think he's injured. I just think that he has not been producing well. That's why you're not hearing him in the news. Hashtag Lions. I hope we sign Chase Young. You have to trade for Chase Young. He's currently a Washington Commander. How's it going, Lisa? Thank you for jumping in here. The one from Sideline left Houston off to 53 last week. James Houston will be on the 53-man roster. I don't know if that's a prediction, but James Houston will be on the roster. That would be absolutely stunning if he didn't. It would be an absolute shocker in a bad way. Justin Chase. Yeah, you would do that was name of the fence about it, but I don't want to give up picks. But if I trade a player to take on his money. Yeah, for sure. And it's all about also, taking on the money, what you would have to give up, and where are you trading the player from. I can't wait to see the changes the coaching staff prove itself this year. I was a little worried when we lost our defensive line coach. I'm not too worried. You're going to lose coaches when you're a good football team. Other teams pick them up. That's why you continue to develop coaches just like you develop players. And they're doing that with Shep right now. And they're doing it with the tight ends coach right now. At some point, you're going to lose your coaches. I agree with Anthony. Brad Holmes should save the capital he feels we need to do trade deadline. Yes, I got no problem with that, Lisa, and I concur. It's a smart way to think. Hashtag Lions. So it's not worth trading for him then. I believe his story would not have been told still. It just depends on what they want to trade for him. We don't know. Like, there's been no legit rumor of what the trade comp would be. That's the problem right now. Until we hear something, all we can do is speculate in the compensation. Hashtag FGB. When do you think Emmanuel Moseley will be ready for practice? Training camp. He'll be ready for training camp. He looked to be ready for mini camp, so he'll be ready for training camp. Matter of fact, Tracy Walker, ready for training camp. Emmanuel Moseley, ready for training camp. Malcolm Rodriguez, ready for training camp. Guess what? Hendon Hooker looks like he'd be ready for training camp. So this is, when it comes to the injuries, the Lions have had the greatest luck of players who's had injured pass. They all seem to be ready for training camp, even Hendon Hooker. He's looking really good. So, like, he may be ready for training camp, as crazy that sounds. I've read an article that Stafford might be retiring after the season. Should we offer him a one-day contract to retire his line? Yeah, if he retires after the season, absolutely. He deserves to retire Detroit Lion. Offer him a one-day contract, retire Matthew Stafford. I 100% agree. So glad to see some cheetahs in the Pride. Hey, man, the Pride is always here. It's always ready to go. The one pride is never ending. Never ending at all. 100%. Let me know in the comment section, would you guys trade for Chase Young for a third-round pick and Julian Okwara for Chase Young? Just FYI, Julian Okwara, in my opinion, probably not making the team. So you give them a guy who probably not making the team and a third-round pick for Chase Young. I say yes. I'm willing to do that. Third-round pick, Julian Okwara for Chase Young, I'm willing to take the risk for that one. Lions Planet says yes. Paul says go Lions. I don't know. I say a fourth in Okwara. Yes. So far, yes. Devin Davis on the fence. I would do third in Julian Okwara for Chase Young. He's still on a rookie deal, even though he's on a fifth-year option. He'd have to prove it. And remember, it's a third-round pick. So if Chase Young were to ball out, he hits free agency for the Detroit Lions. He gets a big contract, and guess what? You get a third-round pick back. So basically, it's nothing if you were to let him walk in free agency and if he does well. A second-round pick, no. Not doing a second-round pick. Third, yes. Second-round pick's high. I would not do it for a second, maybe for 1 year, 100%. How much would it cost to re-sign Jonah Jackson? It's going to cost pretty penny. I don't know exactly what the amount is going to be. He's one of the better guards in football. So I'd have to look up the contracts of the top 10 guards in the NFL and probably put it around the 10th range. That's where he's looking at right now. So I don't really know, but it'd probably be like a 4-year deal, 10 range for guards in the NFL they pay. Yes, third round pick is a lot of capital. But again, like I stated, if he balls out, does well, he's a free agent. The Lions, he signs with another team. We get a third round compensatory draft pick because he gets paid a lot. So it's the only risk is if he absolutely stinks, you're losing your draft pick. But for me, I'm doing it. I'm doing that. Hashtag smash the hole. Do you think Broderick Martin plays this year? Absolutely plays this year. He's going to have a significant amount of playing time. He'll be in the rotation for the defensive line. They didn't draft him in round 3 and trade up for this guy to sit on the bench. He'll be having a lot of playing time. Rotation, just like all the defensive linemen, but it'll be a lot. Now, I maybe do a fourth in Julian. I'd rather get Hunter for a third in Julian. So he'd rather have Daniil. Hey, Mike, when are the Lions going to reveal their new helmet design? I have absolutely no idea. Zero idea on that one. And you'll know when I know. I know when you'll know. We'll know at the same time. Do you think Aleem McNeil makes a leap this year? Yeah, absolutely. He drops some fat. And there's players around him. And Aleem McNeil's always good. He gets better every year. I think he does make more of a jump. Am I expecting him to be like a top defensive tackle in the league? Absolutely not. But a damn good one. A solid player. That's what I expect him to be. I'm hoping our third round pick is up in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, I'm with you. I hope our third round pick is late. I don't, what is it, 96? That means we would be the Super Bowl champions. Needs to be in the roster for 2 years to qualify for a compensatory draft pick. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Thank you for correcting me. Well, then guess what? Re-sign him to a 1-year deal and then do the same thing over. The top 10 guard makes 9.5 to 16.5 in the league. So I'd probably put it at 12. Dragon, I'd put it at 12. 12 million. He's not going to get top of the line. He's not the greatest, but he's up there. I say 12 would make sense. Then hashtag FGB. Who do you think has improved since last season? Improved from last season. Ooh, well, from the players we had last year to this year, I would say that is quite difficult. Obviously, Joshua, Pascal, the guys that barely played from last year. Jamison Williams, but that's not saying much. So Amon-Ra first down for sure. I don't know. That one's hard because they haven't really done anything yet. They haven't really done anything. And we got I would say the secondary, but they're all new players. So all of them are improved the defense. But from last year, this year, it's quite difficult to say because we haven't really done anything. Hashtag Mike, which tight end do you does not make the roster? I'm going to go with Shane Zylstra doesn't make the roster, even though he's done well in OTs and minicamp. James Mitchell's making the roster. Obviously, Sam Laporte is making the roster. And I think Brock Wright is still the number 3. So I'll go with Shane not making it. Hard to say who has improved when we had a pajama party. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's really difficult to say. In all honesty, that's like throwing darts drunk and blindfolded at the same time right now. Ask me a week into training camp, and then I'll really know, especially me being there. I wasn't at OTAs or minicamp, so I can't see it with my own eyes. Once I see the stuff with my own eyes, I can really tell you. Like last year, my biggest jump was St. Brown. He was just dominating practice, and he did what he did. So for sure, make sure you guys hit that like button. Thumbs it up. That does help out. If you're on Facebook, thumb it up. I heard Dalvin Cook is looking at the Bears. What you think? It probably makes sense for him to go to Chicago, play against his former team twice a year. They got money too, no doubt about it. They lost, obviously, their running back, David Montgomery, to the Detroit Lions. It makes a lot of sense. And he's probably looking for pay more than being a player trying to go to a contender. Running backs, they don't have a big shelf life, so it makes sense if he goes to Chicago. It would suck. We still have to deal with this guy in the NFC North, but at least he's not a Viking. One pride. So Holmes seems to be completely rebuild weak position group each year. Which position group do you think are strongest and weakest this year? Strongest, I'm going to go with the secondary. I absolutely think it's strong. I think it's the strongest on the team, even over the offensive line. The weakest position group, God, when I say weakest, it's not really weak. Okay, so when I say this, I'm just saying the weakest. That would be the linebacker room, but it's not weak. I don't think it's weak at all. Maybe the kicking group, that could be weak. But I don't think the linebackers are weak. I think Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone are good this year. I mean, you can always get more depth, but man, like all the positions are pretty damn good. Really good. Hashtag Smash the Hole. Who is the biggest North threat? Minnesota Vikings. I'll still give them the biggest threat because they did go 13-3, even though they lost a lot of pieces. I think they take a step back, maybe go like 9 wins, but that's still our biggest threat. Levi pick really hurt us. Yeah, it did, Mike D. It did. And it's going to hurt us until we get his position taken care of. Hashtag F, all of your opinions on why Julian Okwara has not panned out. I'm of the belief that his injury in college held him back. Never had the juice after that. It was Salem 100%. I mean, that could be it. And that's why a lot of people passed on Julian, is because of his injury. And it hasn't panned out. It hasn't turned out to be, a guy that has really stood out. He's been injured. Here is time. Sometimes it just doesn't work out with players that took a chance. It didn't work out. Now, look, they didn't take a huge risk because it's not like he was a high draft pick. We're talking about round 3. So sometimes you take a risk on round 3, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, oh well. That's kind of where you're looking at to get something. So I'm not like upset that they drafted him and it didn't work out, or if it's not working out. Since Hooker will be ready for training camp, will he be the number 2 quarterback now? When he is ready, when he is practicing for sure, by week 1, if he starts training camp and he's ready to go in training camp, by week 1 he'll be the number 2. If he's not, as soon as he's ready, he'll be the number 2. Hashtag Lions, is Jahmyr Gibbs looking any good at training camp? Well, we're not in training camp yet, but in OTA's minicamp, he looked outstanding. He's looked like one of the best players on the team. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be lightning to this offense. I heard Derek Barnes is kicking ass. What have you heard? I heard the same thing. Derek Barnes looked good, and I'm happy for him because he's got to compete with Malcolm Rodriguez. He's got to be able to make this team, and he's got to make an impact because you get Jack Campbell, Malcolm Rodriguez getting a lot of starting time. You know what he's thinking? Oh, crap. My job's on the line, so he's got to hurry it up and he's doing everything he's got to do to make an impact for sure. Vikings offense seems to be getting older besides their receivers. I wonder how well the defense will come along with Brian Flores. That's an interesting one, Justin Chase. And Brian Flores is the piece that we don't know. We know he's a good defensive coach, but how well will the Vikings defense be? Because they were terrible last year, and it did have to do with a lot of players that were bad. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I still think they'll be good. I just don't think they'll be as good as they were last year. Hashtag Smash the Ball. Who is your top fantasy quarterback? Jalen Hurts is my top fantasy quarterback, and I had him last year, and he'll be my top fantasy quarterback this year. Anytime you can get a mobile quarterback that can run and pass, that's how you get your points in fantasy football. 9 Drinks, what's up, my man? What is up, my man? Appreciate you getting in here again. Make sure you guys hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and all of that lovely stuff here, because it does help out for sure. It does. And I'm trying to get you the schedule right now for training camp, the exact dates. And again, it's not showing. It just says it'll take place late in July and early August. So late July, early August is training camp. And the first couple days, I think, is not to fans. And then they open it up after a couple days. Maybe it's after a week. So it just depends what days they open it up. Hashtag Smash the Hole. What do you think about the Browns changing their logo? Also heard the Commanders may change the name again. Are you freaking kidding me that they'll change their name again? Let's see. I haven't seen the Browns logo. I'm going to go look at it right now. Introducing the new official dog logo. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I like it. It's not bad. Commanders, they should just went with the Wolves. Just woke up at 9 again. What's up, 9 Drinks? Don't get Fields in fantasy because he can't pass. You can also get points in fantasies when you have a quarterback and a wide receiver form the same team like Hurts and A.J. Brown. That is correct. I had 3 players. I had a wide receiver. I forget what wide receiver. I had the running back, Sanders, and I had Jalen Hurts. How many sacks you think the Lions' defensive line gets in 2023? I say 12 to 18. The whole defensive line? Ooh, I'll go with probably close to 30. All of them together. I think Aidan Hutchinson probably gets 15. I think James Houston probably gets around that, itself. What's up? The Lions. Let's see. Commanders article said they have a copyright issue in the other businesses in DC area. Really? Maybe they should have figured that out before they got it. Hi from Melbourne, Florida. What's up, Weston Lion in the building? If you got any questions, do hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU. Hashtag just allows me to see your question. That's really it. And allows me to able to see it quickly and answer it for you. I got to pick my daughter up from work at 5 o'clock, take her to practice. Then I got to make barbecue for the fam. Let's see. I just don't know why they want to take care of it right then and there. That's stupid for the Washington Commanders. Absolutely dumb. Let's see. Where's the specs, Mike? What specs? Let me know the specs. Barnes wasn't a linebacker coming out of college. He was picked because of his talent. This is the 3rd year. I feel like he will convince everyone he is the real deal. I hope so, man. I loved him out of the draft. I loved the Lions picking him in the draft, so because he is fast. And so, we'll see. It is year 3, and he can come to the challenge, right? The Bald Guys, where's Ant-Man and Mark today? Don't know. I sent out the stuff, so if they come in, they come in. If not, they not. No big deal. Was thunderstorming perfect nap time? Yes, it's rainy here in Holland. F them all. What happens if we have a losing record? Who gets fired? the assistants must as well. If we have a losing record, I think it'd be because the defense sucks, and that'd be Aaron Glenn. I think he would go. I think we're convinced the offense is good. The defense is the question marks, even though the defense looked really good in OTAs and minicamp. But if we have a losing record, I think that's what it is. It would be him. Maybe Washington owners will have some balls and rename the Redskins again. They'll probably go like the Red Wolves. I like the Wolves. You have 5 pairs last week. Your new sponsor. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. So you're talking about these guys right here. Yeah, man, I love these glasses. The blue light glass, I actually wear these while I'm working. So because the blue light affects your vision, I try not to wear it all the time when I'm streaming or I'm recording, but when I am doing a lot of work on the computer, that's not that. Generally, I wear it. So yeah, I like these. What rank do you think our offense and defense will be this year? Offense, I'm going to say 2. Defense, I'm going to say 16. 2 and 16. I think the offense takes another jump a little bit, even though we're really good. We're a 4. So I think we go to 2. I think the defense takes a significant jump to 16. Yeah, they're very nice. Very nice. And it helps. Like if you guys work on a computer a lot or in a computer, get the blue light glasses. It's so you don't get migraines and stuff, and it does help. There's no way we're losing record unless Goff goes down. Oh, yeah, that would be the other reason. If Jared Goff goes down, for sure, that would be a losing record. And that would be if Hendon Hooker's not available. I agree with you. That's the only way. Hashtag FGB, do we extend Jared Goff? 50-50 on it. I think they'll wait till after this year. If the Lions win a playoff game, I think they do extend Jared Goff. I think they do, 100%. Do you wear contacts? No, I have perfect vision. I actually had eye surgery done. So I have perfect vision, but my eyes are great. But these are so you don't get headaches when they're on a computer. See, Ant-Man said we have a 4.3 guys on the defense, a 4-3 defense he's talking about. We have a mixture defense. It could be a 4-3 one day, 3-4 other day. It could be a 2-5. Like our defense is not really has the thing right on it. Mike 48ers plucked Hargrave from Philadelphia defensive line, signed C.J. Gardner. I believe Eagles take at least a small step back this year. What do you think? They could take a small step back. I mean, you're going to the NFC Championship or you go to the Super Bowl. And if you don't go to the Super Bowl, that's a small step back. They're still a damn good football team. I still got them ranked 1 in the NFC. I think they're the number 2 team in the NFL, right behind the Kansas City Chiefs, as they should be. But they could take a small step for sure. This year, Lions sent a message. They'll be relevant for years to come. Respect. I agree. I think they do send a message. This is where they're relevant for years. I 100% agree, and we're a good team going forward. I don't know what else to say, but that's 100%. Hashtag game 2, Goff goes down and Hooker is fit. What's our record? Oof, if Jared Goff goes down. Oh, my goodness. That would be a terror for the Lions season. I say 9 wins. If Hooker's good to go, 9 wins. Again, he's still a rookie. Thank you so much. Top 5 Lions players of all time. I love your channel. Thank you so much. Top 5 Lions of all time. Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, for sure. I love those guys. You could put them in any order, whoever you want to do it. Love Corey Schlesinger. Loved what he did as a Detroit Lion. Herman Moore, for sure. He is my boss. And I did love Matthew Stafford here as a Detroit Lion. I absolutely did. I'm happy that we traded him away and we got Jared Goff. But he's brought me so many good memories, so I got love for him in my heart. I do. See, do you think we could have gotten more for Okudah and Swift? No. I don't think we could have gotten more. I think that's exactly what we would have got is what we got. Pretty much right there. Who do you think will lead the team in tackles this year? I'm going to go with tackles. I'll go with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think he'll lead the team in tackles because he'll be playing nickel and safety, and he'll probably be utilized all over the defense. I'll go with CJ Gardner-Johnson leading the Lions in tackles. Hashtag FGB. If they extend Jared Goff, so how far out does that put Hooker to be our quarterback? If they extend Jared Goff for 3 years, then Hendon Hooker will be the Jordan Love situation. A Jordan Love situation. They could extend Jared Goff to a 4-year deal, right? But maybe they trade him away after 3 years. I don't know, but it's a good situation, a good problem to have. If the Lions win a playoff game, great. If Jared Goff is not good, then you got Hendon Hooker, great. Either way, it's 2 good situations to be in. This is the San Francisco 49ers situation that I love. I never want to have a quarterback problem. Ever. I want it to always be the position that's you don't have to worry about. Hashtag Lions. I think everyone forgot every other team had a draft this year with the intent to upgrade their team. Too much Kool-Aid drinking is a setup for disappointment. Well, Lisa, it's also not just about the draft. It's also about free agency, and it's also about off-season and moving forward. The Lions were 8 and they won 8 games of the last 10. They had a really good free agency, had a really good draft, plus the players they already have, so the momentum is flying. 32 other teams did have an NFL draft, but teams are in different modes. Lions are going up right now. You got the Minnesota Vikings that are kind of going down right now, right? They let a lot of players go. Then you got the Chicago Bears that were butt cheeks, but they are starting to go in the right direction. You got the Green Bay Packers, whom they had a draft, but doesn't it feel like they're kind of, I won't say on the downturn, but a retool? You got the Houston Texans, who are ass cheeks, who are starting to go up. So it's all different parts of where a team is at this specific year. Hashtag FGB. If Hooker is ready and Goff goes down anytime, I would say we'd have 12 wins, 3 losses, and 2 losses to the refs. Okay. Still, it's going to be difficult. You're going against really good football teams, and a rookie quarterback's still going to have rookie moments. I don't care how good the rookie is. They're all going to have rookie moments. My top 5 is Alex Carr, Matthew Stafford, Chris Spielman, Barry Sanders, and Megatron. Good list right there for sure. Hashtag Smash the Hole. Who do you think stood out to Indo TAs? Jahmyr Gibbs stood out in a great way. Love what he did there. And he's my biggest standout, in all honesty. I think he's going to make such a big difference for the Detroit Lions. And I'll go CJ Gardner-Johnson and how he's made this secondary great. I think they all deserve praise. The secondary, the whole damn thing was great. The whole thing was great. Besides Goff, who do you think will lead the team in touchdowns and all-purpose yards? I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown with wide receivers. I'm going to go with wide receiver numbers. I'm going to go David Montgomery with touchdowns. I think he's going to get a lot of goal line stands. He's going to get it. And just all around yards, like everything combined, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs. Possibly, because he's going to play so many different positions. With Hooker 10-7, okay, I could see that, Liam, for sure. I got 9 or 10 wins if he was to have to come in there because he's a rookie. Okudah being drafted has been another Lombardi, one close. Swift had potential, but is always hurt. Gives him Montgomery real improvements. I agree. It's 100% improvement. Montgomery's improvement over Jamal, and Jahmyr is an improvement over DeAndre Swift. Lions' run game will be better. Hashtag FGB. If the Lions win the division in a playoff game in spite of Goff, does he still get an extension? What do you mean, spite? Like he has a really terrible year? Give me his numbers, Bryant Waller. Because if you win a playoff game, it's hard to say it's out of spite of the quarterback. Alex Smith, he did his thing. Like quarterbacks, you don't have to be fantastic. If he wins a playoff game, he did something that Matthew Stafford couldn't do. You skipped my comment. If I skipped your comment, let me see. Where's it at? My top 5 San Francisco 49ers are all time are Montana, Clark, Rice, Young, and Smith. Those are some good ones. I mean, they've had such a good players on that team. God, I remember that linebacker they used to have. I absolutely love that guy. He retired early. That was like 10 years ago. Man, that dude was fire. Hashtag FGB. If the Lions win the division and playoff game. Oh, yeah, I read that one already. Let's see. You passed my comment. I just hit it. Hashtag smashable hole. Do you think JMO's suspension was harsh or 100% justified? I think it's harsh. I think getting suspended is okay, but 6 games? Come on. Come on, man. Maybe 2 games. I think 2 is logical for that. Why not? Don't forget Charlie Sanders. Yes, he was. Patrick Willis. Yes, that is it. Patrick Willis was a stud. God dang, I love that guy. Whew. He just don't have great numbers, solid numbers. Oh, okay, yeah, solid numbers. Yeah, I still think then extend him. It's not all about just numbers. It's all about winning football games. When we traded for Jared Goff, Dan Campbell said that. It's not about numbers. Sometimes it's about winning football games. And if he's winning football games, that means he's not throwing the game away. Even if he's a game manager, even if he threw that 5-yard touchdown right to DJ Chark versus the Green Bay Packers. That's not a big play, but it won the game. Like that's another aspect to the quarterback position that's important. He can win football games. And if he wins a playoff game, I say yes, extend him. I'm not going to be I'm not a hater of Goff. I'm not a lover of Jared Goff. I'm a fan of the football team, and I want the best for this football team, 100%. Jason Hanson, absolutely. Guy was a beast. Ronnie Lott, no doubt. Yeah, 6 games for making a bet in a college basketball game at Team Hotel is ridiculous. I agree. 2 games, okay. 6 games, come on, man. At the least, I give Goff repeating the stats from last year. Dude, another year with Johnson at OC with the weapons he's come on. At least give him another year. Yeah, look, he's getting another year. He's absolutely getting another year. He should be getting another year. But I have no problem with them drafting a quarterback either. You got to have that position locked up. Just be a win-win. If Jared Goff plays great, that's awesome. Like it's a win-win for all of us. He gets injured, then you got Hendon Hooker there who can hold it down. Don the GOAT, Burr. What's going on? The GOAT is in the building, the greatest Lions fan to ever exist. Hashtag Lions. Should we play dime defense on a 3-and-long? Why the hell not? You got all these DBs. Use them. What Detroit Lions jersey are you rocking? I'm wearing my Micro Mike jersey, my old Micro Mike jersey. It says Micro Mike on the back. That is the one that I'm wearing. I just threw the first one that I found. I got a bunch of them around here. I just put on the first one I found. I saw the Lions had number 11 defense in the last 10 games of the year. Why did you rate them 16? Kaminsky and Houston made a huge difference. Because it's not just 11 games or 10 games. It is 17 games. They have to come out there and play good defense for 17 straight games. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the Seattle Seahawks. They're right off. You can't just discount these teams because it was the last 10 games. You got to do it for 17 games. Yes, the defense got better, 100%. But you got to do it for 17 games. Until they do it for 17 games, I'm not going to say they're going to be a top 10 defense. You got to do it for all the games here. Hashtag FGB. Do you see us taking more shots down the field and running play action more this season? I could see that for sure if Jameson Williams is ready. When he's ready, I see it to be about the same as last year. Maybe a little bit more play action when he's good to go, if he understands his routes and everything, and him and Jared Goff are on the same page. Those two got to get on the same page first. They haven't done it yet. They got training camp and preseason to do that. We'll see, maybe a little bit more, but I expect, honestly, around the same offense. And that's a good thing. Except for a lot of passes to Jahmyr Gibbs. Don't get me wrong, love the Hooker pick. I love the Hooker pick, absolutely. It was a great pick. How long have you been a Lions fan? I am 38 years old, so for 32 years. I say when I was 6. Here's a question. What player on defense we can't afford to lose? Me, Hutchinson. Ooh, that's a great question. Cannot afford to lose. You're going to go with Hutchinson, and I respect you. I'm going to go with Lee McNeil. I think we can't afford to lose Ali McNeil. We lose Ali McNeil. He's been very consistent on the interior. I think our interior is probably lacking a little bit compared to the rest of the Lions roster. We lose Ali McNeil, I think we're in a world of hurt. What was some of your favorite moments in the Detroit Lions history when Matthew Stafford jumped over the line versus the Dallas Cowboys to win the game? That was my favorite moment of all time. And when we made the playoffs against the, at that time, San Diego Chargers with Matthew Stafford in 2011, and the crowd was chanting playoffs, playoffs, playoffs. Me too, 32 years. Man, we're the same, identical. How long have you been a Lions fan? To use Hutch, McNeil. Goff is perfect for this offense. He has all the weapons he needs. He has a Super Bowl experience. He does. And hopefully he can bring us that, right? Like, that's the goal. Hashtag Lions fan for 55 years old. Man, Liam, you're old, Lions fan, and you deserve some victories here. You deserve for the Detroit Lions to go to a Super Bowl here soon. Hashtag Smash the Hole. Is Ben Johnson leaves, who is the top prospects to replace him? Tight ends coach, I think, would probably be the guy that would replace him right now. He's been under his wing. They're grooming him. I fully expect he would be the guy. Any chance of a tailgate party at a game with you doing a broadcast? Well, we'll be doing a lot of away games. We're going to be at Soaring Eagle Casino live streaming the away games. That's what we're going to be doing. Brother just sent me an attachment. So we will be at the Soaring Eagle Casino, I think pretty much on every away game. If I'm at Ford Field, I'll actually be in a suite with Herm. So it probably wouldn't be a tailgate. We got 66 years. We got it since 1990. So that is 35 years. I was at, or 31 years, sorry. I was at the game next to the tunnel, happened in front of me. Anzalone, we don't have depth to make that up. Ooh, that's a good one there, Salem. Since 1980. Born and raised Lions, and I am 63. Let's go, Lions. Does preseason games count towards James? No, it does not. It does not. It is regular season games. Jamison Williams can play in the preseason. Preseasons does not count for his suspension. Unfortunately, that'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. What's going on with my phone? My phone's acting up. Let's see. Are we all veterans? I've got 43 years, and I don't even live there. Lions fan forever. I'm 57. So good at 50 years. JMO can play in the preseason. Yes, he can. Okay, now. Tune in fine. Must do claim. Ugh. Brother just sent me a picture of himself. Cool. Let's see. Hashtag FGB. Which games do you think the Lions got screwed over the worst? For me, it was the Dallas wildcard game. Dallas wildcard game was the absolute worst. That was the most angry I've ever been about a Detroit Lions game. I was salty as salty could be. That was the game that made me very, very angry. Very angry. That was a bad one. Since my boy Goff got traded, okay, he's a Goff fan. Well, welcome to the Honolulu Blue and Silver. When is the first game of the 2023 for the Detroit Lions? We're the first game of the year. We play Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday. Opening game, opening NFL season is Detroit at Kansas City. So you get to see us real quick. 63-year-old, hashtag Mike or Mike. Nice glasses, bro. Yeah, these are blue light glasses. So I don't have bad eyes. My eyes, I had LASIK eye surgery. I got great vision, but you know, it's good to, when you're on a computer around it, to wear them. I'm 73 years old. Been a Lions fan for 61 years. They're playing at Old Tiger Stadium. Well, Gary, I really hope for your sake that you get to see a Super Bowl because you've been a fan for so freaking long. So long. Going up 14-0 on the Cowboys in the playoffs was the closest we've been to winning a playoff game in years. We should have won that game. And that makes me very angry because that was a penalty. What they did to Pettigrew, that would have been a first down. The Lions could have sealed the game. I will never be happy about that. What is your score prediction for week 1 versus Kansas City? Shockingly, and people are going to think I'm nuts, I have the Detroit Lions winning the game 32-28. I have the Lions winning that game. And I know a lot of people are going to say, there's no way. I do. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a difference maker in that game. You were very salty versus Carolina last season. You shut down the stream quick. Did I shut down the stream quick? I don't know. Did I? I've shut down, I think, one stream in the last 4 years quick. That may have that could have been it. I don't remember. I was salty. That was a pretty bad game. But the difference is, one, we could have won a playoff game, and the other one, it was a game. Gonna rock the Honolulu Blue number 16 in LA. Awesome, man. Love it. Let's go Lions. If the Lions win week 1, do you think it would put the NFL on notice? Yes. It would absolutely it would be all Lions talk. Especially it'd be Friday, Saturday. Oh, man. Like, it would be Lions 24/7, which would be fantastic. 72 this year. Been watching the Lions for a long time. Billy Sims. Tiebreaker, the Facebook Golden Tate clock runoff. Oh, that one was a bad one. And that was a touchdown as well. We would have been 3-0 versus Atlanta. That was a painful game. It was. My first Lions game in attendance was the Carolina game. Oh, that's terrible, man. That's a terrible game to first be on. Lions 38, Chiefs 28. Love it. Coldest Panthers home game in history. That was a bad game. What is your favorite Lions game? Again, I said before, I'll say it again. It was the Matthew Stafford jumped over the line to beat the Dallas Cowboys, gives the football to Reggie Bush, jumping on him. That was my favorite Lions experience of all time. That was the best game I've ever watched. I was so happy when Stafford clock it, and he jumped over there. That was the greatest game. I was going nuts. We had a party at the house. We were all going crazy. That was a fun game. If they beat Kansas City week 1, do we let down in week 2 versus Seattle, or teams move forward? I think you could lose that game for sure. Seattle, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough 2 games, and it's possible, but I can see the Lions like, you know what? We're getting payback here. When are they going to show us the new helmets they announced months ago? I'm starting to think it's BS. It will be a while. It will be a while before it happens. That's weak, bro. I'm not sure what's weak. What he is saying there. Let me see. Steve Wilkes. Don't see ya. Hashtag FGB Lions fan, 58 years. I went to my first Lions game at Tiger Stadium. That's a long time ago. Saw Barry get 2,000 yards against Parcell and the Jets. Ooh, I'd love to see that one. My favorite Lions game was Stafford hurt his hand and he threw a touchdown. Oh, the shoulder injury. That was a great game going against Brady Quinn. It's funny because I said Brady Quinn, they do their live streams and they answer everybody's question. Nobody's in there. And I asked him about that game. I was like, hey, you were firing that Lions game, but we had the best on you. I'm going to the Chiefs winning over the Lions score 55-30 in the first game of the 2023 NFL season. Patrick Mahomes will throw for over 400 yards and Arrowhead Stadium will be rocking. You and a lot of people will be going for Kansas City Chiefs, and there is no problem with that. Why? Because they're a damn good team. Hashtag Matthew Stafford comes back in a game early in September. Shoulder throws a touchdown to win the game. Yes, that was a fire game. My first home Lions game was Mike's favorite Lions game. Oh my God, Lisa, you were at that game? That must have been absolutely nuts. That must have been the best party after a game of all time. That must have been glorious. Glorious. Motor City, Dan Campbell, do you think that Chase Lucas has any value for the Lions? Does to his size and experience. As a depth player, that's really about it. I don't know if he makes the team, though. I don't even know if he makes the team. Saw O.J. Simpson get 271 yards at the Silver Dome on Thanksgiving Day. Lions won. That's a ton of yards. I don't even remember that. Lions secondary will be the best in the NFL. Kansas City will have a hard time scoring. It's going to be a great battle and test for the Lions secondary. right next to the tunnel. Oh my God, I bet you you just probably had no voice after that. What happened to Javid Best? He had a concussion. He had multiple concussions, and it ended his career. The last one was the Chicago Bears Monday Night Football. He took a concussion in the fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left when we had the game won. Oh, man, Javid Best was awesome. If he would have never got injured, he would have been a special running back. He would have had a ton of yards. Javid Best was a beast. I still like Best. He was a great running back. Just dang injuries took him off. He had that special speed to him. If I were buy a Kansas City Chiefs jersey, I would get either Travis Kelce or Patrick Mahomes. They'll be smart jerseys to get. They're great Chiefs of their generation. Why don't the Lions fight to get JMO's suspension lowered? I don't know. They may. We just may not know it. That could be something behind the scenes. My first game in Detroit in 43 years will be the Bears November 19th on my 60th birthday. See you all there. And Weston Lion, I hope you get to watch a victory. Hashtag F Kansas City. Javid Best was too small, Mike. He was small, but it was predominantly his head. Like, he wasn't getting injured. He really else more the concussion thing. So he had it in college. He was injured in college, and it just never changed. After I got out of the Army, I worked for Burns Security. I was at every game at the Silverdome for 4 years. Loved it. Fonts years. That would have been awesome. Awesome job. To be at the game every game, man, that'd be great. Going to Las Vegas Raiders October 30. Can't wait. Go Lions. That would be a fun game. I think the Lions win the game, but it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be interesting to watch. I always like out of normal games. Only games I've ever seemed to go to is this freaking NFC North, and I'd rather go to like a completely out of the blue game like that. Best had straight speed, and it wasn't all that. He had great speed. His speed was different level. Hashtag Lions, what are the odds we trade for Chase Young? I'll put it at 15%. We don't even know if the Commanders are willing to trade him. We don't know what the trade comp would be. I've heard rumors from 3-2 to 1. I'm only willing to give up a third and a player. I think that would make sense. I'm not willing to give up a second or a first for him. Marcus Willis, what's going on, man? You've been a subscriber forever on my channel and on this channel. Best was only a 4.4 speed. He had a different gear to him. Gibbs is faster. He is fast. Gibbs is going to be amazing for the Detroit Lions. He's going to be amazing. If he stays healthy, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the difference maker that we've been wanting forever. Who was worse, Schwartz or Patricia? Oh, Patricia. Jim Schwartz wasn't bad. Jim Schwartz brought us from 0-16 to a playoff contender. Matt Patricia brought us from a playoff he inherited a 9-win football team and made us into a garbage team. Matt Patricia is I would say worse than Marinelli. I didn't mind Jim Schwartz. His temper got the best of him at the end of his career in Detroit, but he brought us from an irrelevant team to a playoff team. So I don't got no hate for Jim Schwartz. Patricia is terrible. He was a terrible coach. There's nothing good about Patricia. Folks, I got to pick my daughter up from work, so that means I'm going to be getting off here right now. The heavyweights will be on. I appreciate everybody hanging out for today's show. We will get back at it. Videos will be dropped every single day. And when the season starts, we finally get at it. With that said, folks, adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Taking into your hands a plan your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and all the doubters, they're just young downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work